YouTube, back at it again with another mock draft. Welcome to Mose Knows. I am your host, Mose. Today we are on episode 20. That's right, 20 of the team-specific mock draft series. Today, I am your resident GM for the Chicago Bears. Yes, sir. Chicago Bears. Good old Soldier Field. That's where they play. And I haven't been there yet. Maybe on this channel, I might do a vlog of my first time going to Soldier Field. You never know what you might see here at Mose Knows. But you'll know about it if you do two things for me. One, I need you to hit that subscribe button. You here, you showed up, you clicked on the link. I thank you for doing that. And because you did, you showed up, you came to Mose Knows. Guess what? You family now. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I need you to hit that subscribe button. Then I need you to take another 2 seconds and hit that bell icon so that you, yes, you get notified every time new content drops right here at Mose Knows. And again, it might be my first time at Soldier Field. I might do a vlog about it and you'll get to see it. So let's jump right into this mock draft. We're going to select the Chicago Bears, one of the most storied franchises in the league. Think about that 85 Bears defense. Whew. Think about the linebackers that they've had over their history. Man, so many things. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I think might be a ghost up here. The door that swung open. Something running across the floor. I think it was a piece of paper. So I don't know what's happening. But it caught me by surprise because I'm in the middle of talking to y'all and then something just scurrying. I'm upstairs, so I know it ain't a mouse or nothing. And my house is clean. We don't got nothing like that. And it was white. A white mouse, that would be some crazy stuff. But something scurried and then the door just swung open. I thought it was my kids. Thought it was one of my children coming in here. And then I was going to have to stop what I did and then restart recording because the child came in and burst in. That's what a lot of stuff was going in my mind. I was talking to y'all and then that happened. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, we're on the clock here at number 20. Quarterback is our number one need. And I think Matt Nagy is on the hot seat. A couple years ago, he was sitting at 3. He traded up one spot with my 49ers to draft Mitchell Trubisky. A lot of people said he got fleeced in that trade. There was no need for him to give up what he gave to go up one spot to get Trubisky. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think Kyle Shanahan liked Mitchell Trubisky enough to draft him number 2. I think it was Solomon Thomas. I think it was always Solomon Thomas because of his connection with Stanford and John Lynch. I don't think we were taking Trubisky. We took advantage of the situation, got some extra draft capital. Y'all moved up and took Trubisky. Now Trubisky's gone. Andy Dalton, come on. Let's be 100% honest. Red Rifle ain't it. Andy Dalton is not it. He is not the answer. So is Matt Nagy pressed to get it right at the quarterback position? I think so. I think he's pressed. I think he understands that if he doesn't get this situation right, it's going to be a problem. And it might lead to him no longer being the head coach of the Chicago Bears. And especially with that's funny. Especially with the first 3 quarterbacks being taken with 1, 2, and 3. And we can look, Trey Lance is also going at 9. And Justin Fields is going at 15. We can look at some of the other teams that need a quarterback, besides them. Washington could possibly want to move up and get a quarterback. Let's see. The Saints, it's a possibility. Are we sold on Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill as our number one? That's a possibility right there. They could jump up and get a quarterback. So Nagy's going to have to be aggressive if he wants to jump up for a Mac Jones, Justin Fields, or Trey Lance. We've seen him be willing to give up picks to move up and get a quarterback. Now you're saying, well, you just said he got fleeced in the Trubisky trade. Why would he make the same mistake twice? Well, you either take a risk on one of these younger guys, or you go throughout the season with Andy Dalton and Nick Foles and no clear-cut plan as to what you're going to do at the quarterback position. We can kind of guess and prognosticate who are going to be free agent quarterbacks next year, but there's no guarantee that you get one of those guys. There's no guarantee that they want to come play in Chicago. We can look at the quarterbacks in next year's draft class, but there's no guarantee that you get one of those guys. And who's to say if you go, well, we have 17. If you go 9-8, or 8-9, where you're right in the middle of the pack and you're back picking at anywhere between 15 and 20 again. More than likely, you're going to have to move up for the guy that you want, because I don't think next year's quarterback class is as deep. So that's something that has to be talked about within these organizational meetings in Chicago. Do we move up for a quarterback? I think they do. I think it's because Nagy's pressed and he wants to right a wrong and he wants to get it right. In this mock draft, we're not doing any trades. So we got to take best player available for positions of need. So let's look at some of those. Offensive tackle, definitely agree. Charles Leno Jr., And then Elijah Wilkinson or Jermaine Fetty, absolutely not. Wide receiver, possibly. You're talking about moving on from Anthony Miller, but you still got Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Riley Ridley, Javon Wims. You kind of all right. You could probably get somebody later. I wouldn't use a first-round pick on a wide receiver if I'm Chicago. Corner. Got rid of Kyle Fuller. Jalen Johnson is okay. Desmond Trufant is on the back end of his career. You could definitely go corner here. But, man, all right. See, here's my thought process. And I'm sure a lot of y'all not going to agree, especially Bears fans, because it's not the sexy pick. Offensive lineman is not the sexy pick, right? But if Andy Dalton is going to be my starting quarterback, I got to protect him. If that's who I'm going into battle with, I have to do what's necessary to make sure that he's able to perform, or we going to look like trash. We going to look like real trash. So if you're not able to get the quarterback that you want here in the first round, you're not able to trade up, why not go offensive lineman? Now, you could go corner. And Greg Newsome is here, who's decent. Eric Stokes is here, who ran a 4.2, blazing. And Caleb Farley is still here. Now, a couple weeks ago, Caleb Farley, on most cornerback big boards, was either 1 or 2. People either had Caleb 1 or Patrick Surtain the second 2, or had it the other way. Patrick 1, Farley 2. But he was top 2. Then this issue came out where he was having back surgery. Now, apparently he is going to be ready and cleared by the start of training camp But he's a physical corner. He's a big physical corner. He has great coverage skills, but he's also physical, and he can tackle. So do I want to spend a first round draft pick on somebody who's having back issues? And we've seen over the course of all sports, football, baseball, basketball, hockey, even Tiger Woods in golf, back issues are major problems. And once you get one, it's like it lingers and it reoccurs and it happens again, and your back is never right. Do I wish that on Caleb? Absolutely not. He's one of my favorite corners in the draft. I want to see him do well wherever he goes. You could look at Greg Newsome at this spot. But if Andy Dalton's going to be my quarterback, and if we do draft a quarterback this draft, that is going to be the future, which Andy Dalton is the bridge to, I want to make sure that my offensive line is intact and in place. And right now, that's not the case. So I'm going to go Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma State. You got to be able to protect. You just have to. And we will wait for our next pick in the second round. Pick number 52. Oh, goodness gracious. I didn't expect it to be. I didn't expect it to be here. And y'all probably mad. Well, we're gonna be mad because it's not a sexy pick again. But I could go Wyatt Davis in this round and shore up my offensive line. I don't know why I just whispered that, but I could do that. Oh Lord. Okay. Could go Wyatt Davis. Hold on. You see 83. I might be able to finagle it. Let's see. Let's go back to all. I could definitely go Wyatt Davis here. And now that right side is shored up. Wyatt Davis at right guard. Tevin Jenkins at right tackle. I don't care if they're rookies. That could be shored up. Now we are a base 3-4. Do I want to get a guy like Greg Rousseau, who's dropped a little bit, but it's too late. You could put him on that. Put him at that right defensive end spot above Bilal Nichols. I don't think the fit is absolutely there. Corner's an option. You could go Aaron Robinson. Elijah Molden is here too. Fitu Melifonwu, Tyson Campbell. Wide out. Damani Brown is okay. Nico Collins. Option. Man, I can't pass up Wyatt Davis at 52. I can't do that. And again, it's not the sexy pick, but establish that offensive line. Establish the offensive line. And I think Greg Rousseau to the Colts would be amazing. Oh, I missed 74. Oh, wait, no, it's not 74, 83. My bad. I thought I was on something. And the quarterback that I want is still here. Now, I know they have Davis Mills as high. He did have a great combine, but if I'm going based off of my big board at quarterback, my guy would be Kyle Trask, who did have a really good pro day. He showed some improvement in his throwing motion, in his mechanics, in his release. He's definitely been in the lab this offseason leading up to the draft. I think he's going to wow teams with what he's able to do. He isn't the most dynamic as far as getting out of the pocket and scrambling. He can move if he needs to, but he's not a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance, but neither are the guys you have here. And I think Nagy didn't really appreciate it much out of Mitchell Trubisky. So we get our offensive lineman and we draft our quarterback of the future here in the 3rd round. I'm going Kyle Trask, QB out of Florida. And I think we're good. Definitely got to improve that offensive line. But that offensive line can be in place for the next 5-10 years. And see, I'm glad we went Trask when we did, because it doesn't look like we have a 4th round pick. Now, we can always trade up or trade back, but it's not always a guarantee that teams will want to move. Okay, so got our offensive line together, got our QB of the future, didn't have to reach for him, didn't have to give up a bunch of draft capital this year, next year, and possibly the year after that to move up to get our guy. So I think we're in a good position. We could go edge for depth. Like, I love Jonathan Cooper from Ohio State. We could go wide receiver. I love my guys Daz Newsome and Anthony Schwartz. Good possibilities here. Let's take a look at corner. Shakur Brown from Michigan State is here. I like that. Diamador Lenore, also big fan of him. And Bryce Thompson is all right, but I wouldn't go him here. No, don't need a tight end at all. We could go another interior defensive line, somebody like Chris Tonga. We only have one nose tackle, and we need to add some beef there. Somebody who can rotate with Goldman, get him, some breather snaps on the sideline. Let him rejuvenate and recharge so that he can be fresh throughout the game. I like this pick. I like Chris Tonga out of BYU for Chicago at 164. All right. Now, it doesn't look like... Oh, I was about to speak too soon. Say it with me, y'all. Those that know. You know Mose love multiple picks in a round. We got 204 and 208. So this allows us to be just a little bit more flexible in what we want to do and where we want to go. Oh, my guy is here. Semi still on the board. I know we have a big body wide receiver, but give me another big body. Semi, 6'4", 225, ran a 4.3. I like it. Could use a guy like Cornell Powell. We do need to address corner after losing Kyle Fuller. Bring more competition to the room. So I'm going to go Diamador Lenore, knowing that I'm right back on the clock here at 208. Semi's still here. Cornell Powell's still here. I could go a young edge rusher who could learn from a Khalil Mack and a Robert Quinn. A guy like Malcolm Koonce from Buffalo, who I really like, is an option. We wanted to go wide receiver. Cade Johnson from South Dakota State is an option. Tariq Thompson is still here if we wanted to go the safety route. We got Eddie Jackson. Deion Bush is all right, but we could use some depth, and he could come in and be a special teamer early as well. What do we value? Do we value depth in the secondary and special teams? Or do we value depth and our ability to rush the passer? I think with the guys that we have, Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn, I think the emphasis is more on rushing the passer. So I think you can get a young guy like Koonce, have him come in and learn. Who knows? Khalil may not be on the team next year because of his contract situation. He may need to be moved as the cap casualty. Same thing with Robert Quinn. So let's get a young pass rusher who can come in now and learn from those guys. And we can see what we can develop him into. So we'll go Malcolm Koonce out of Buffalo. And we are back on the clock at 2:21. And we have 2:28. I love it. I love it. Now I passed him 3 times. And they took my man Tariq Thompson from me. But I passed him 3 times. And he's still here. I'm not going to pass him up a 3rd time. Give me Semi Fehoko, wide receiver out of Stanford. I like that. And we bet 4 6th-round picks. Ooh, that's beautiful. Now I see some of those being moved. Maybe you package a couple of those 6 to move up in the 5th round. Maybe you package 3 of those. Maybe it'll get you all the way back into the 4th round. Maybe do 2 6 and maybe a 4th next year can get you into the 4th round or possibly the back end of the 3rd round. I see a lot of movement. I see a lot of movement that could be happening with this team with 4 6th-round picks. Honestly do. And I mean, we took care of most of our needs. I see tight end, but we got Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham. Don't need one. We could go linebacker here in the later rounds. As you see, the linebacker class has a huge drop-off at a certain point. But here, 228 in the 6th round, these guys would, strictly be role players, special team guys, possibly even a camp body. You never know. But if we're looking at needs and we want to add to some position groups for depth, keep the veterans fresh, I'm going to go Patty Fisher, linebacker out of Northwestern. And let's see, do we have any 7th-round picks or no? Because they're all in the 6th. So that's going to do it. That's going to wrap it up for the Chicago Bears. Let's take a look at what we were able to do and recap. 8 total picks in all. So 1st-round pick, number 20, we take offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. In the 2nd round, we stay with a focus on that offensive line. We take guard Wyatt Davis out of Ohio State. At 83, we get our quarterback of the future. It may not be who everybody wants, but if you're able to get Kyle Trask in the 3rd round, that's a steal. I do think he's better than that. I think he's being pushed down because of the lack of athleticism. Doesn't have the strongest of arm, but he plays the QB position well. And with a coach like Matt Nagy, I think Nagy will be able to get the best out of him. So we'll see. We thought the same about Trubisky. Who knows? We'll see. But we possibly get our quarterback of the future in Kyle Trask in the third round at pick 83. Pick 164, we did not have a fourth round pick. We take defensive tackle Chris Tonga from BYU. At 204, we add to our cornerback room with Diamador Lenore from Oregon. At 208, we get a young edge rusher to come in and spell some of the veterans in Malcolm Coombs from Buffalo. 221, we take wide receiver Semi Fihoko out of Stanford. And at 228, we take linebacker Patty Fisher out of Northwestern. That's going to do it. That's going to wrap it up for the Chicago Bears. Bears fans, I need you to chime in. Let me know what you think. I know the first two picks weren't the sexiest of picks, but if you look at the offensive line and if you look at who the quarterback is slated to be, and if you're weighing the option of, do I mortgage the future to trade up for one of these quarterbacks, knowing I don't have an offensive line to protect them? Or do I get the offensive lineman now, hope a guy like Kyle Trask falls to me in the second or third round, and build that way? I went with the second option because there's no trades, but also I think it'll cost too much for the Bears to get up to where they'll need to get a guy like Fields, Mac Jones, or Trey Lance. So let me know. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know what you didn't like. Let me know what you would change. Let me know what you would do differently. I love the interaction with all the fans from all the different teams that I've gotten so far, and I don't think it'll be any different with the Bears fans. Love and appreciate you for taking the time. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, take another 2 seconds, hit that bell icon. You can catch me on all my social medias. If you want to leave a comment below, you can do that. If you want to hit me up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter will be linked in the description below. And I can't wait to be with you in episode 21. I'll see you then. Peace.